Welcome back to The Factor. Uncensored. Sex trafficking is an ongoing problem in this country or any other has been able to get a handle on. But as we add more and more people to the front lines to help victims, we move closer to saving more and more lives in what we call a no trafficking zone. Let's get to it with our guests tonight.
We know the importance of having students and young people when they mix technology and media with social issues. We want to show them what a presence they can make and what a difference they can make. And just watching these students the last couple of semesters really understand that when they use their voice through media and technology and activism, the changes that they can create in combating and preventing human trafficking.
And Caesar, we know a lot of young people are constantly on social media. This gives them purpose.
Absolutely. One of the things that I try to do with all of my communication courses is teach students that you need to learn about emergent technology, but you need to learn how you can use it effectively and to make a meaningful impact on society. And that's what we're trying to do with this project.
Bishop Dixon, when it comes to human trafficking, obviously Houston is like #1 in the country, Harris County. So how do we hope or suspect, or we hope that this will make a difference in putting a dent into human trafficking?
Well, the challenge of human trafficking calls for all of us to be all hands on deck. We need the university, the church, the business community, faith community, all of us working collaboratively together. What this says is, listen, we're turning a tool that is often used for the negative in human trafficking into the positive, right? Social media and media has been used as a weapon on the side of the traffickers. We're taking that same weapon and turning it into a power tool on behalf of anti-trafficking. And thanks to Jacqueline and Caesar and their team, this innovative model is cutting edge and students will be empowered to make a difference.
And Jacqueline, many people don't differentiate from sex trafficking and human trafficking. Is it all in one for you, or you're focusing more on sex trafficking?
We are focusing more on sex trafficking. We created a podcast with the students called Unmuted Now What? And that really focuses on predatory behaviors and signs for school campuses and college campuses and what's really happening in the nation with young people. But the focus is really sex trafficking. Under human trafficking, there's the umbrella also of labor trafficking. We haven't dove into that yet.
And when we talk about sex trafficking, many people think about sex workers from other countries, but it can happen within the United States, where someone talks a young girl on social media to coming from Houston to Las Vegas to work there. And it happens a lot here in this country within our borders, right?
Yes, domestic minor sex trafficking in the United States of America, we are one of the highest countries where we child traffic our own children, whether they are preyed on in foster care or orphanages or high schools or social media or college campuses. We rank as one of the #1 countries for child sex trafficking.
And Caesar, if you can, give us an example of how your tool, that being social media, will work in getting the word out in stopping a sex trafficker, maybe an example.
Yeah, so there are several levels. One is, as you've just sort of discussed, there are a lot of myths about what sex trafficking is, what human trafficking is, and informing people and doing sort of market education, explaining to parents, teachers, students what all of this is so that they can recognize it and then hopefully prevent it. That's on the one hand. So we have a podcast with our students interviewing experts like Jacqueline and like some of the survivor leaders that talk about their experiences so that we're better informed, because when we know what something is, we can deal with it, right? But then there are a lot of other layers to, as you mentioned, the traffickers are actively using social media to engage with their victims. And if we can empower students to understand how they can be victimized on technology. So a lot of that is understanding the technology so you know how to use it productively and you know how to avoid being exploited through that same technology.
All right. We want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and thank you for the work that you all do in the community.